In this episode of Mighty Car Mods, the build of our 240, 260, 280 S30 Fairlady Datsun Nissan
continues.
Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods, and Martin, today it's all about the rear end, your favourite part of a car.
That's
yes.
right.
So, the front end is looking pretty good.
The front end is looking pretty good.
The rear end needs some love.
There's still some bits to do on the front, but it's all like fun stuff like welding aluminium, which is really fun. Aluminum for everyone else. We have a bunch of boxes that have arrived, which is pretty exciting. So last time you saw the car, we didn't have boxes, and it's a couple of days later, and now we do have boxes.
That's right.
Which is super exciting. It arrived from the United States of America on like overnight flights from the USA.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
A box from the rear end.
Exactly.
It's going to be freaking
There's
awesome.
a few of them, so we're going to crack them open and see what's in there, and hopefully those bits and pieces will help us get a move on with our build.
And we're also attaching the fan and shroud to our radiator here, except it doesn't fit.
Of course not.
So it's getting modified. And it's going to be an epic day. It's going to be great. The plan obviously on the rear of the car is to do like disc brakes. That was the biggest consideration, but also the diff, because we thought it might explode otherwise. And we want to make sure this car is kind of engineerable in some format and actually work on the street without too many problems.
So Mechanical Stig has gone and got us a R34 Skyline diff and some shafts and some hubs. Some of those hubs need some work, but they're enough to get us started, so we'll be able to mock it all up, because we are going to have to change our tail shaft, which is a bummer, but I think it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, that's right. So the idea today is obviously get as much of that rear end stuff in as possible, see what's in these boxes. New suspension as well. And then while we're doing that, the young Yoda, I think, is going to finish a bit of pipe work and stuff on the front. And that's about the plan, Martin.
It is. That will probably eat up most of today.
So, who's pumped to get going, Martin? So when we started trying to rebuild these rear brakes, you probably saw in a previous episode that they fell apart like a piñata, and we weren't sure where all the bits were. And it was at that point we kind of went, it's probably almost a too hard basket, considering that we could do a better job anyway by upgrading them, and rear disc brakes would probably be a prerequisite for getting the car engineered. So we put something up on the Mighty Car Mods Facebook saying, has anyone got any recommendations? And there was one thing that just kept coming up over and over and over again.
And it was Techno Toy Tuning. And they're a bunch of guys over in California in America who had been watching the build, and also so many of you guys had said go and talk to them. So we just shot them an email and said, you know, is there any stuff that will help us do this? And they said, well, yes, there is, and we have 5 boxes coming your way.
So yeah, they sent us all this stuff. They're a
awesome
Californian company, designed and manufactured in California. I don't know exactly what's here,
no,
but we're about to find out in an almighty automotive unboxing of extravagant proportions.
It is worth mentioning that it's actually possible to upgrade your rear end using factory parts. Like you can get 280Z parts.
Yes.
And I think those cars came with disc brakes. You can mix and match calipers off Bluebirds or Maximas, but a lot of that info is either patchy or the part's actually quite hard to find, because some of those brake calipers are actually from like 85 model cars, and the records that we tried to get them from just didn't have them. So, or you can go full custom and make it, but we obviously want to get this thing on the road, so it was about getting a kit that would just get it done. And
I think the reason why people like kits like this is it doesn't drastically affect the geometry of your car.
No.
So you can kind of, you get coilovers, you get brakes, you get all this stuff, but your car still has that famed Z performance that everyone expects.
I'm also a big fan of, if you're going to get under there and start replacing stuff, and you have the kit or you have the money to get the kit or whatever, is just do it in one go. And just get it all done, because you're going to have to get an alignment anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well sort of start from the inside and work your way out.
What have you got in box 1?
Okay, box 1. This one's already opened, but you have to chop that because I don't know what that is. This looks like, oh my God. Oh, that looks like a strut, dude. Coilover of some description. I really should have got a knife. Yes, this must be.
Nasty.
Dude, that's a front coilover.
Really?
That's a front coilover. Sent us fronts as well. Matching ones, I think. That's a little stub axle, which is cool, and it'll mount the brake caliper onto it. That's legit, man. Look at that.
Wow.
Wow. This looks quality.
Look at this one.
And adjustable as well.
Look at this.
Hub. I think that goes on there.
That's awesome,
It
man.
looks so like...
It's got all their little bits on there.
So fancy. I think that
unreal.
sits on there somehow. Donk. With a bearing in it, ideally. All right, that must be front in there. So you must be rear bits here.
So maybe that's rear. Can you knife the rest of that for me?
Knife away from yourself.
Man, there's a lot of stuff in here.
Can you believe how quickly this got to the other side of the world?
No, it's like got here in just a matter of days.
Oh man, I didn't know whether we were going to get this, but when I saw this particular part on the website, I got really excited because these are control arms. That's a lower control arm, or I think it's a lower one. Yeah, it is. That's awesome. Look at that.
Far out.
How good's that?
It looks legit.
Yeah.
Look at the
So
adjustment
good.
on this.
Oh wow.
That's so epic.
Yeah, wheel alignment might need to be done by an expert, I think, by looking at that.
Mate, I think
That's
there's actually
amazing.
like too much stuff in here for us to unbox everything. Like there's just too much stuff.
What do you mean, too much stuff?
Look at it all. But what I will say, can I borrow a knife for a second?
you can.
Is that we did have R33 Skyline brakes on the car, but now we're actually going Willwood front and rear, so we're going to have to change the front. I mean, we're going to be changing the suspension and stuff anyway. I mean, it just went from like a kind of a crazy build to like an extra crazy build, didn't it, Marty?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Just extra.
Yeah. But I mean,
madness.
you're just having done this enough times now. It's like if you can do it properly, do it properly.
Yeah.
And it means that when you are going very fast and you have pressed the brake pedal, the car will stop. I think the Cresta has Willwood brakes on the front as well.
Look at this, man. Willwood brakes.
Massive.
Huge.
We need to check. They're supposed to fit under our wheels, but they may not.
Okay.
So we're going to have to,
We'll have to check.
trial fit them.
Otherwise, we might have to go full custom wheel as well. Can you imagine that?
Can you imagine? Oh,
That'd
that's
just
so
be
exciting. I love that. It's really well made too.
Martin, there is so much stuff in here.
It's great.
Seriously, look at this.
Loving it.
I don't even know what that is.
That looks like, is that a rear hub? Like a rear carrier for the rear hub? Does it? Yeah, control arm will connect to that. That's massive. Look at the size of it.
huge.
And I think the brakes mount on there somewhere.
Over on those two. Far out.
More, so must be the upper arms. Do you even have upper arms? I don't actually know how that suspension works. Oh, that's the same as what you pulled out before, hey. Yes. So good.
And down here, we keep going. Martin, I think each box is organised. Look at that, they've tagged exactly what it is.
Strut top
The front brakes with instructions. We got to make sure we keep all the bits together.
What's this one? This box is, have you opened every box?
No, there's more
I'm going to open
over
this
here.
box. What's in this one?
This is what I want to check out in here.
Rear brakes?
It's front brakes. Oh, you've got rears.
There should be rears somewhere. What's this? Oh, I'm rolling over bubble wrap. Oh no. Yeah. Look at it.
So epic.
Oh, sway bar.
This is like an almighty kind of like Lego kit, isn't it?
Dude, this is next level Lego.
Like this is crazy.
The colour's really cool. The grey's gonna look good under there. I'm running over more bubble wrap.
Man, I'm starting to get scared that I'm gonna like forget where everything goes and just freak myself out.
Yeah. Drop
So-
mount set.
Yeah, awesome.
Dropped it.
Let's do it, man. Let's
gonna do it?
remove.
I have absolutely zero. What's that? I have no idea where to start. I think we just
No, me neither.
start pulling stuff out. I mean, the diff's got to come out, so maybe we just pull all the factory stuff out. Is that smart? I don't know what to do. But we're going to learn,
I think
aren't
we do what we usually do. We just pull everything out and then start putting things in and take longer than we think it's going to because we just work it out as we go.
What's a DM set?
A DM set.
There's instructions. There's instructions. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
How good is that?
I wonder if it's actually
So
going to fit,
pumped.
Marty.
It's supposed to fit an S30 240Z.
But everything's supposed to fit everything and it never does.
I really hope it fits. We might be surprised. Do you remember when we did like the Honda S2000 exhaust and it just
Well,
fit?
NVIDIA
We were
exhaust,
blown
it
away.
just fit.
We were blown away.
It was amazing.
It was the first time ever in like
Unlike those
7
other
years
ones.
before that.
Let's do it, man. Let's just
Okay.
start removing and installing. We'll
Buy
get to
brakes,
it.
buy coil, buy
See you later,
suspension.
brakes.
See you, mate.
Sorry to
do it.
stop you in your tracks.
Oh dear.
Our first job is to remove the old brakes so we can get access to the rest of the rear suspension components. We're basically going to be replacing everything, which means all of the parts back here need to come out and get carefully stored away so that one day if we want to, we can return the car to original. Because we're also upgrading our diff, Our custom tail shaft also needs to come out, as we'll need to measure up and get a new one made that fits our new setup.
Get out. There he goes. Thank you, mate. So this is an interesting thing. Up here, up there, is like a strap. Looks like a rubber strap. And Turbo Yoda was saying that the idea is if your diff busted, it would stop your diff flying out onto the road. I've never seen one before. It's pretty crazy.
So we started pulling this apart bit by bit, and then we realized that it's probably going to be easier just to drop the whole rear in one go. And then what we're going to attempt to do is build the rest of the stuff off the car so we can check it all, get it all right, and then put the whole thing in. At least that's the plan. We'll see how we go. Hopefully this won't fall on my head now. I think there's just 4 more holding it in up the top, Marty. Like 4 here, 4 there. Where's the moustache, Martin?
The moustache is that back bit.
This bit?
The big mount along the top. I didn't know either. Al had to tell me.
Is that the moustache?
Moustache? It looks like a moustache.
It does look like a moustache.
If it's got a beard and makes coffee, then it's a hipster.
We're supporting the weight of the rear end and the diff on a jack, and then once everything's undone, we can carefully lower it down and remove the whole thing from underneath the car.
Coming down. Whoop. Oh, spinning.
And that's it. The rear suspension components, brakes and diff are removed from the car, ready to be upgraded with brand new and modern replacements.
So here it is. This is the factory rear end.
It's a R180, which means 180mm wheel in it. We're going to a R200.
R200.
Yeah.
So yeah, with the diff that we have over there, which Turbo Yoda's about to bring over for your viewing pleasure.
Oh, it's a big unit.
That there is from a R34 Skyline.
Yep.
And as far as we can tell so far, everything that you can see is about to be replaced.
I think so. I mean,
all of this.
It looks like we have enough parts to change all of it, which is great. So so they break. These are uni joints. They break here. Apparently they break there. They break in here. But I mean,
and this breaks.
A factory one's not. I mean, standard you're not going to break it. So it's engineered fine for what the car was originally intended for. But when you start turning it up like we're turning it up,
yeah,
it's time to change it. And it just happens that the coilovers and everything come as part of the kit, which is a bonus. This is the moustache.
Yeah. And I can see why, because it looks like Movember.
And the reason you can't just bolt in an R200 straight on is that they're a different, I mean, that's a whole different mounting system, but they're a different length.
Yeah,
There's short nose, long nose, all sorts of different things. And so
which is why we need the new drive shaft as well.
Yes, exactly. Otherwise, I mean, look, you could get really lucky, but the flange is different too. So
yeah,
we just put basically an R34 shaft, one piece, front and back, done.
What's pretty amazing about this car is that like all of this stuff will be new.
Yeah. Your whole driveline.
Shaft,
yep,
suspension,
yep,
brakes.
Everything that's touching the road and the engine and the gear, like everything is new or refreshed.
That's amazing.
Which is great, man. It's so good.
Are we going to attempt to basically leave this here and build that next to it? Because that would make the most sense, wouldn't it, with all the other parts that can kind of reference this?
Particularly, I think if we lay it out to make sure we have everything we need, it's the right way around and sort of try and match it would be the smart way to do it. But we may or may not be able to build it like this.
Yeah.
We'll just see. Just plug it in.
It's probably easier to get this out than it's going to be to get the other one in, isn't it?
Especially when you're on your back on concrete.
So we've dropped the rear end completely, which sounds like a holiday in Bali, doesn't it? Like when you've had some like bad food and you... Anyways, that's what's happening down the rear. What is happening down the front, Al? I see some more mods going on here with our bolt-on parts.
So we got this radiator shroud with a fan on it for an R32. And it doesn't fit at all, so...
but this is for an R32 as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is...
So if that's R32 and that's R32, shouldn't they play?
Yeah, in theory, but...
okay.
Yeah. So it does,
is that another bolt-on part that doesn't bolt on?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which is, yeah, pretty standard.
But you haven't had to do much except change all the mounts, cut a few holes in it.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And put some little plates down the side to seal it up. And we've also turned it around and put it the other way, just because.
Okay.
So it does fit now.
So just for the record, this bolt-on part, we've added metal, we've cut holes, different brackets.
Turn it upside down.
And turn it upside down.
Drilled holes in it.
Okay.
Cut some stuff off the radiator, and now it fits.
Okay, great. There it is. So once that's on, other than the kind of the front mount piping that still has to be welded, are we pretty much like home and hosed up the front end? Like other than some wiring and bits and pieces like that? I know we've got to connect fuel as well, but are we close up the front?
Yeah, just fuel hoses. We've got to bolt, the manifold's not bolted on properly yet, so we've got to bolt that on. And then just some radiator hose, the heater hoses and stuff, which we've got, but we just ran out of time last time. So yeah, we'll get that done.
While we begin unboxing and laying out all of the components for the rear end, Alan is going to finish the intercooler pipes and weld in our blow-off valve fitting. We're installing a GFB Response TMS, which has an adjustable venting bias that allows you to control with a twist of your wrist how much air vents from each outlet. In most cases, this lets you choose whether you want factory recirculation or blow-off valve noise. But in our case, the venting bias will adjust our sound from the classic Parramatta Road blow-off valve whoosh all the way through to the Bankstown Special Giant Pigeon. While Al finishes the pipework, we've got all of our new parts laid out and we're ready to start installing them.
The hipster bar is held on by bolted bushings that go up and connect to the factory studs. All the pickup points are the same as the factory parts, so there's no fabrication involved or customization. The bar has multiple mounting points to fit a variety of diffs. Our R34 Skyline R200 fits perfectly onto the centre mounts. We're lubricating the bushes so they don't seize up, and with the big washers glued in place with some silicone adhesive, we can work on getting it mounted into the rear of the Fairlady. The thin factory drop mounts are replaced with billet aluminium blocks that connect to the factory mounting holes. The rear lower control arm bushes are then clamped in place underneath.
Can you get yours all the way in there?
No, man, I keep like jamming one right in the front and then it sort of like slips right at the edge, and then if I get the angle right and like turn left, because it seems to bend off to the left, then I can get one good screw at it, you know?
Because the first time I put it in, I was pushed it the whole way through and that seemed to kind of open it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But on this side, see how my rubber here, see how that's going through there?
Yep.
Rubber's all smashed.
Well, this rubber keeps getting in the way.
Yeah, well, every time I try and push it all the way in, this rubber's getting in the way because it's broken around the base of this.
My one's got a little like ring around it.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of holding it and just around the base, and
it
seems to work okay, but then when that starts to squash, it just all goes a bit sort of flaccid, you know?
Yeah, but these are meant to be flappy, right? These bits are like
these are supposed to
the two bits that are hanging down are meant to flap down and be wobbly until we actually insert the big one, right?
There's two flaps and then we put the big thing right here.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, but these need to stay flappy.
Okay. And so it's kind of like when you're putting anything together, you want to leave everything, like a roll cage or something, you want to leave it loose until the last minute.
Exactly.
So then you just go hard on everything right at the end before you finish
right
off.
towards the end.
Yeah, cool.
It's good, man.
Do you reckon these are the right way?
I have no idea, but at least it'll be nice and, you know, time consuming if we need to change them and reverse them. Moustache bar next, man.
Oh, that's good. That's substantial.
Hey, buddy. Yep.
Are they our gloves, Martin?
Hope so.
We've just had an exciting delivery. Our new Mighty Car Mods Driveway Ninja work gloves. Made with nylon knit and a polyurethane coating, these are perfect for working on your ride or doing some gardening with Cheryl. They're available right now on the Mighty Car Mods website. Turbo Yoda is close to finishing off our custom blow-off valve piping, and we are having great success on installing the rear end, because for once, the bolt-on kit actually bolts on.
Our moustache bar is getting installed first, and then we'll lift the diff up into place and secure it with the front mounting bracket. Meanwhile, Al is installing our blow-off valve nice and close to the throttle body. It's getting pretty squashy in the engine bay, but it's clearing everything nicely. Installing the diff. The big diff.
Just tell me what you want, man. Up, left, right.
Up.
Dude, this is pretty awesome. Skyline diff.
Skyline diff. You've basically got an R34 with an RB26 and no front drive. You've got a GTR with no front drive.
Basically, this is a GTR that's rear-wheel drive in an S30 body. That's what it is now.
Yeah. That's cool as.
That is cool.
Just jack it, man. I'm so pumped. And so's the jack. Hang on. Oh, if you can go down a touch.
I'll try it.
Yeah, that's all right. You can always go up again. And now
Up a tiny bit.
lock him off up a tiny bit.
Locked and up.
And then up 1/2 a pump. Yep, and now towards you a bit, please. Yes.
Is he in?
Oh my God, that felt so good.
It was always crazy.
Yep.
But it just got proper.
Having that.
Like it just got proper crazy now.
And having that means like you can just drive the snot out of it.
Just drive
like,
the
just
pants off it.
Just drive the pants off whoever's in it. Well, I mean, whoever's in.
What? Drive my pants off.
That drive your pants
I could
off.
drive it with no pants on.
Do that.
Martin, there's a special Airbnb for people with no pants.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I just read about it in the paper.
What are you talking about? Oh man, I've got smuts all over me.
Airbnb for people who don't like to wear pants.
Okay.
It only shows you pantless places.
Well, I'm happy for those people. I'm just happy for people to be happy. I think. Shut up. Does that? No.
What? No.
Shut up.
What? Yeah, that way, dude. Yeah, that way. Yeah.
All right, now the jack's in the way, so we're gonna have to go back a little bit.
Yeah, no worries. Hold it up. And
Yep.
I'm going to withdraw from your armpit and reinsert at the end. Oops.
Up.
I went too far.
Lots of up. Lots of up. It's heavy as.
I know.
Yeah, just hold there for a sec. Shut up.
Oh.
Shut up.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front,
back
Dick.
door. And can you please close the fly screen? Because there's
Shut
mozzies coming in.
Up. No way. I don't believe that it's that easy.
Martin, they said it would bolt in. And they told the
It
truth.
bolts in.
They're the first people who've told the truth.
No, we shouldn't talk. You know why?
I need to
Something
tell
will go
Turbo
wrong.
Yoda. Turbo Yoda, these guys said this thing bolted in and it bolted in.
This is a first.
Yes, it's a first.
It's
Turbo Yoda's
spectacular.
just exploding in the background.
I'm exploding with excitement.
You got the bolting. Them slots.
Look at that.
Look at it.
You got to cut this off.
It's so good.
What do you want? Are you trying to cut stuff again?
Huh?
The space must go in here.
Alan's trying to cut
It's the same on that side too. Let's measure it.
760.
760.
Cool.
Write it down.
All right. 670.
No, don't do that.
With the tail shaft measurement double checked, we can put in an order for a custom length shaft, which will connect our R200 Skyline Diff with our R34 gearbox. Next time on Mighty Car Mods, it's all hands on deck as we get ready to turn the key for the very first time.